First reading, a reading from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 62, verses 1 to 5. About Zion, I will not be silent. About Jerusalem, I shall not rest until saving justice dawns for her, like a bright light, and her salvation like a blazing torch. The nations will then see your saving justice, and all kings your glory, and you will be called a new name which Yahweh's mouth will reveal. You will be a crown of splendor in Yahweh's hand, a princely diadem in the hand of your God. No more will you be known as forsaken, or your country be known as desolation. Instead, you will be called, My delight is in her, and your country the wedded. For Yahweh will take delight in you, and your country will have its wedding. Like a young man marrying a virgin, your rebuilder will wed you. And as the bridegroom rejoices in his bride, so will your God rejoice in you. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. Second reading, a reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verses 4 to 11. There are many different gifts, but it is always the same Spirit. There are many different ways of serving, but it is always the same Lord. There are many different forms of activity, but in everybody, it is the same God who is at work in them all. The particular manifestation of the Spirit granted to each one is to be used for the general good. To one is given from the Spirit the gift of utterance, expressing wisdom. To another, the gift of utterance, expressing knowledge in accordance with the same Spirit. To another, faith from the same Spirit, and to another, the gifts of healing through this one Spirit. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, the power of distinguishing spirits. To one, the gift of different tongues, and to another, the interpretation of tongues. But at work in all these is one and the same Spirit, distributing them at will to each individual. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Gospel according to John, chapter 2, verses 1 to 12. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee. The mother of Jesus was there, and Jesus and his disciples has also been invited, and they ran out of wine, since the wine provided for the feast had all been used. And the mother of Jesus said to him, They have no wine. Jesus said, Woman, what do you want from me? My hour has not come yet. His mother said to the servants, Do whatever he tells you. There were 6 stone water jars standing there, meant for the ablutions that are customary among the Jews. Each could hold 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, Fill the jars with water. And they filled them to the brim. Then he said to them, Draw some out now and take it to the president of the feast. They did this. The president tasted the water, and it had turned into wine. Have no idea where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. The president of the feast called the bridegroom and said, Everyone serves good wine first, and the worst wine when the guests are well wined. But you have kept the best wine till now. This was the first of Jesus' signs. It was at Cana in Galilee. He revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and his brothers and his disciples, but they stayed there only a few days.